Hello, and welcome to our next Modex Trade Show preview podcast. My name is Michael Levans, and I'm Group Editorial Director for Peerless Media's Supply Chain Group. And for this Modex preview, I'm joined by Emmet Stiff. Now, Emmet is New Business Development Manager at Regal Rexnord, and that's a leader, and they are a leader in automation and motion control. Emmet, welcome, and we're happy to have you join us today. Now, by all reports leading up to Modex, taking place in Atlanta, of course, March 11th through the 14th, the numbers are fairly staggering. Now, MHI tells us to expect over 1,000 exhibitors, right? And our new record number of attendees. And I'll tell you, our editorial team on modern materials handling received a record number of new product releases leading up to the event. And I'll be quite honest with you, a lot of these folks and a huge number of these new products and players are brand new to the materials handling, software, automation, and robotics market. And I guess we're not surprised, Emmet. We're seeing more and more automation, taking off, not only inside of fulfillment operations, but also across all facets of warehouse and distribution management operations. So, Emmet, maybe kind of kick us off in our conversation today. Maybe can you explain or define, how, the current environment that's driving all this excitement around automation? What's your high level take on that?
Hey, Mike, great to be with you today. Thank you for having me on to the podcast. Talk
Absolutely.
about this Modex show coming up in 2 weeks' time. I'm super excited because for me this is kind of the first Modex show that is clear out of the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
I know we were in 2022 and we were just starting to turn the corner.
Yep.
So 2024, not surprising to see a lot of new interest in this space.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Now, in the overall environment for warehouse distribution, 3PL operators, I think, yes, we're out of the pandemic. But as we know, during the pandemic, when everyone was stuck at home, there was a huge influx of investment into the e-commerce space because you can't go out and shop in person, so you're going to shop online. And so we saw a lot of investment, a lot of build out. Now, thankfully, those pandemic restrictions have been removed, and people are going back out to shop in person for things that they want to buy in person. So investment has slowed a bit of a hangover to recover from.
Sure.
But now these 3PL operators, warehouse distribution operators, they realize they have to get really focused on what it is they're trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
So the need has not gone away.
Right.
The demand is still there. And in fact, the demand is fluctuating,
Mm-hmm.
It changes based on seasonality. It can change based on marketing preference, what's in fashion, what's not in fashion. So
Mm-hmm.
we're finding that operators have to be very selective now in the type of automation that they're going to bring into their space if they need to bring in automation.
Absolutely.
So we see that trend of getting more precise, more specific about
Mm-hmm.
what it is that operators really require, because
Yep.
we've seen interest rates go up. So the return on investment has to be clear. The business case has to be there. And then for vendors, suppliers like Regal Rexnord of automation equipment, we really have to do our best to demonstrate the total cost of ownership.
Yep.
Through
Absolutely.
these partners.
Yep. So a fine tuning period. So you're saying here, absolutely. So I mean, as I mentioned at the outset, we are seeing a lot of new players, right, coming into making their way into the market right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I know Regal Rexnord has been a prominent player in the market for quite some time. How has the company stayed relevant for so long? What is it about your approach to solutions that have kept the company, such a mainstay in this market for such a long time?
Yeah, unlike many of the new attendees at Modex, Regal Rexnord has been around for well over 130 years now. Now, the company is a house of brands, but each of those companies really started uh, developing precision components that serve the power transmission industry. And power transmission is necessary to drive automation, to drive conveying solutions. So Regal Rexnord, with its storied background in manufacturing precision components, well, over time we've realized that sometimes the best person to put all those components together to make a complete subsystem or system or an end-to-end conveying solution
Yep.
is the component manufacturer ourselves. So with
Yep.
our history and our success, we've decided to take the strategic initiative to move up the value chain to start supplying uh, total complete solutions into the
Yep.
marketplace. And
Makes
that's
sense.
what you're going to see from Regal Rexnord at the Modex show.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. That makes a lot of sense. And of course, the organization has certainly proven that you can adapt to pretty much any environment. So let's turn our attention back to this current environment and a little bit more about the challenges, some of the biggest challenges for warehouse, DC, 3PL, facilities managers in this environment. What would you say, Emmett, are some of the biggest challenges facing, your customers in this market?
I'd say one of the interesting trends I've seen is, customers that we never thought of customers in the past are now becoming customers. And I look at the big name retailers, the big fashion houses. You walk some of the premier Class A shopping malls,
Yep.
you'll see beautiful retail front stores. You go down Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills, Broadway in New York City, and these flagship stores that we're talking about selling, typically high-end retail fashion. And
Hmm.
they've come to realize, thanks to the pandemic, that, an omni channel strategy for them includes, how does the customer react when they receive that piece of fashion
Right.
at their front door.
Right. So
So
true. Yeah.
we're seeing these large retailers are starting to build out their own material handling engineering departments because
Hmm.
they want to say with how their 3PL or their distribution client is fulfilling orders for their clientele. So I see that
Yep.
as being a really big development. And I think that's going to drive a lot of new attendees to
Yep,
Modex.
absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, let's put our attention now on some of the solutions, right, to these challenges, and more specifically, where Regal Rexnord is going to be focusing this year at Modex. So it's right around the corner here. So, can you share what you'll be focusing on in the booth this year? Will there be a specific solution, set of solutions? What will be front and center for you guys this year?
Well, for us, we see, the big pieces we see are serving clients that are interested in robotic automation,
Hmm.
serving clients that are interested in autonomous guided vehicle, autonomous mobile robot applications, and those that simply need an automated end-to-end conveyance system. So we're going to have two booths at Modex. We're going to
Okay.
have our Cole Morgan NDC Solutions team, and they're going to be showcasing the latest in AMR, guidance control systems, vehicle controllers, and navigation sensors.
Hmm.
And then over in the Regal Rexnord booth, we're going to have not only our Regal Rexnord curve system, which is a zero tangent curve system
Hmm.
that shows how packages can go around a curve while being kept in the exact same orientation from
Hmm.
entry to exit. That's unique in the marketplace. And
Hmm.
then we'll also have a fully functional operating end-to-end conveying system that's going to showcase our ModSort omnidirectional motion embedded control technology, and we'll be diverting and transferring
Yep.
cartons and polybags so that potential clients can see and envision how this kind of technology would operate in their facility.
Right, absolutely. And that's such a key to an event like this, right? Having potential clients, see how things operate so they can piece it all together in their minds. It makes a lot of sense. So, Emmett, so what would you say would be like a key takeaway that you would really like a visitor to the Regal Rexnord booths, when they walk away from this year, is there anything that you hope, resonates with visitors after spending time with you and the team at this year's Modex?
I hope that we have attendees come by our booth and, they may have a bucket list of what they're looking for in automation technology, conveying technology. And that might be something along the lines of, I want something that is energy efficient
Hmm.
because energy bills can be expensive, electricity can be expensive. I want smart, intelligent automation solutions that turn on when they need to be working and turn off when they don't need to be working.
Right,
I
right.
want something that's quiet
Yep.
because I care about the health and safety of the employees in my facility, and I want them to be able to work closely with the machinery
Hmm.
while it's operating. And I want technology that is inherently safe. I don't want uh, conveying technology that can take a thumb off one of my employees. I want
Right.
something that, okay, it's going to know that there's an object in the way and it's going to turn off, or it has breakaway torque such that it won't, really pinch a finger
Right.
or take a thumbnail off. So safe
Absolutely.
equipment,
Yep.
quiet equipment, energy efficient equipment. I hope that attendees will come by the Regal Rexnord booth and see that that's what we have to offer in the
Yep.
marketplace.
That makes a lot of sense. And it also plays into, helping out the labor issue we still have in this market right now, making sure everybody's safe. It's a comfortable environment. So we do have just a couple more minutes before we wrap up, Emmett. Now I understand that you're going to be doing a presentation this year at Modex. Can you share a little bit more about what you're going to be covering in that presentation and why attendees should drop into your session?
Yes, Mike. I'm looking forward. We'll be hosting an on-floor seminar in the Emerging Technologies Theater. It's going to be on the first day of Modex, Monday, March 11th at
Hmm.
12:30 p.m. And what we'll be discussing is conveying strategies for robotic applications, specifically on how to maximize throughput. Now, it's one thing to put a robot into your facility. It's another thing to design a process or a system so that you can orchestrate the robot to work together with your conveying system, your existing material handling technology,
Hmm.
and get or improve your throughput while
Yep.
reducing your cost of ownership. So we'll be
Yep.
looking at the different technologies that are available in the space, the different applications, whether it's robotic arm, automated storage retrieval systems, AGVs, and
Yep.
how to think holistically about an end-to-end conveying solution that
Hmm.
is incorporating a robotic application. Because as you said, Mike, the demographic challenges, we're all starting to see them across the board.
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
So automation is a good way to ensure that the available manual labor that you have, the people on your floor, are engaged in high value added activities.
Yep. Absolutely. Well, we're up against the clock, Emmett. Terrific job. And I'm going to thank you so much for joining us. Again, Emmett Stiff, new business development manager at Regal Rexnord. I want to thank you so much for joining us on this Modex Trade Show Preview podcast. Thanks again, Emmett.
Thank you, Mike.
And have a terrific day and enjoy the show. Take care.
Thank you. You as well.